All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Ctd Podcast. Today we have our next special guest on the podcast, and I'll let Brandon kind of introduce him since he's been friends with him a little bit longer than me.
All right, guys. So this is Mike. He runs Owl Howl Game Calls, right? You add game. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The hat's pretty sweet. We just got shirts made. Well, my brother got them for us for Christmas, but there you go. He's got a whole website. We'll put some stuff in the bio so you guys can check out his Instagram and stuff. But I went to high school with Mike. He's a pretty big hunter. We just kind of reconnected after I needed my bow fixed, and he saved me right before the rut. So, yeah. So, Mike, let's talk a little bit about your channel and calls that you make because they're pretty cool.
Yeah, my YouTube channel is lacking right now. I have like a whole year's worth of footage that I've been editing for the last couple weeks, just trying to hunt and edit stuff. Just not my strong point.
Yeah, it's definitely hard.
During deer season. I'm trying to hunt and kill stuff. But I should have. I think I have 5 videos edited right now, starting from the first week of bow season all the way until the first week of gun season. So
those are all hunts.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got your one doe kill on film, right? Did you?
Yep.
You were showing me that. That was good footage.
Yeah, I got that one, and then that's the only one I got on footage.
It's hard, man. It is
six
hard.
deer and only
you shot
one.
6 deer this year?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Got a full fridge.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, it's hard. That's what it's going to be one of the topics is like self-filming, like how different it is between just going out and hunting. And I was like, when I first got into it, I was like, man, like this is going to be easy. Like I'll just flip on the camera, swing it on them and be good. And like when the moment happens, especially with a nice buck, it's like, holy crap, what do I do?
Yeah. I feel like when you're filming, or like even when you're just getting ready to kill a deer, everything's slowed down so much in your brain. I mean, it's like slow motion. And then you really start to realize how fast things actually happen when you have to get the camera on, put it on the deer, and make a shot.
Oh, yeah. So what kind of calls do you make, Mike?
Mostly turkey. I have a few duck calls and one grunt tube.
Oh, you make a grunt tube? That's pretty sweet.
Yep. I have some other stuff too. I have wind checkers, but I'm working on getting more hats and shirts and apparel. It's a pain trying to find hats. Like trying to find especially these like camo Richardson hats. Like they're such a pain to find.
Yeah.
Like I think the one website I went to, it said I could get them by January of like 2024 is when they could be in.
Cow.
And I was like, no. And I found these ones, but I think we have 7 different mouth calls.
Wow.
7 different pot calls.
You say we, is that just you?
Yeah, just me. Yep, me and my wife. Yep.
Nice.
She's my financial assistant. Would be the best way to put it, yeah.
She went to school for something like that, right? Or
she went to school for healthcare management.
Okay.
But she's like our financial advisor. But
that's cool.
No, yeah.
So, where can people find those game calls?
At owlhollowgamecalls.com.
Oh, so you have your own website?
Yep, got my own website.
That's cool.
Yep. Yeah, getting ready to do some shows now. Trying to find some anyways. It's hard.
Yeah.
But shows are good. You can go and talk to people and they get to play with your calls and check them out. And
how do they play with your, like, do you just like give them a mouth call and you're like,
no,
all right, take it with you.
No,
I don't want it back.
It's it's if we get towards like the end of a show, I'm like, yeah, if you buy this mouth call, I'll give you that one, but or something like that usually. But most of the time, it's guys are like, oh yeah, I have a call like that. I'll buy that one. Mm-hmm. But I always have calls set up, pot calls for guys to try. Last year, during turkey season, I did a prototype of a box call that I'm going to start selling too this year. and I killed a bird with it last year. So that's going to be in the lineup for this year. That's about the only new thing so far I can think of. But
Nice.
yeah, I'm a box call guy. I like box calls.
Yeah, they're nice on windy days.
I don't care. I don't care who you are. Box calls. You can say whatever you want. Mouth calls, slate calls, box calls. You can't tell me box calls haven't killed more turkeys than really.
Easily.
That's at least my opinion. But if you get a good one, they always sound really good. So
the only thing I ever use is a mouth call. Literally, that's the only thing.
I'll use a box call if I'm like hopping out of the truck and trying to get a bird to go.
That's like, I love just cutting hard on mouth calls. It's awesome.
Yeah, usually I'm like box call to start with, and then if he gets fired up, then I just throw in a mouth call quick and usually pull him in with that. But.
Nice. So, Mike, you do a lot of mobile hunting, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
What kind of setup are you running?
So I've been saddle hunting since 2019, I think. 2018, 2019. I really had no intentions of getting into saddle hunting. I was going to Ohio, and the guys I work with, it was like starting to get popular, and the guys I work with were like, dude, you should get a saddle and try it. So I was like, all right. So I bought like a cheap one off Amazon, and I bought a set of hawk sticks, and it's called the Podium by Out on a Limb.
Okay.
I like that platform a lot. I think I'm gonna get a new one this year, but yeah, I ran that for a year, killed a buck in New York. I don't think I killed any other bucks that year. The next year, Tethered had like really started being more well known. They came out with a Phantom saddle, so I got that, and that's a good saddle. And basically, I care when I'm hunting. I have I think it's made by Elevated or Elevation. Their logo is like a hawk, but they have like a fanny pack style with back straps. I wear that. I love that pack. It's super nice. And then my platform, I bungee my sticks to it, and I have backpack straps on that. So I throw them over my shoulder and
some little mods you got there.
Yeah.
You know, that's something I love about YouTube is you can go online and see hundreds of different ways people packing their gear, what kind of equipment they're running.
Yep.
And it's just such a great way to network ideas on how to make yourself a more efficient hunter.
I will say that backpack that I got this year, I got a new, it's just like, it's like Tidewee or something.
Tidewee, yeah.
They make like kind of like a small, like almost elk hunting style backpack, and I use that, and I love that thing.
That's the Bino harness I bought this year? Same brand.
Yeah. They're awesome.
Tidewee makes nice stuff.
Yeah.
I bought something
affordable
else.
too, you know.
Yeah.
But you do any mods to your gear this year? Anything you want to change? Think about changing?
Yeah, I'm changing everything, honestly. Yeah, I just got my in-laws got me the XOP double sticks for Christmas.
Nice.
Those are pretty sweet. I like them because you can stack them on top of each other, or you can stack them from the side.
Yeah.
They're
those little clips, right?
Yeah, they're a little noisy, but I knew that when I was looking at them. So I'm probably going to stealth strip them, and if that doesn't quiet them down, I'm probably going to fill them full of spray foam.
Yeah.
But I'm doing that, and my buddy, he has the Trophy Line EDP. I really like Trophy Line. They have really nice stuff.
That's what I'm going to switch to next year's Trophy Line.
Yeah, they have I like their saddles too, but he has the EDP platform, and I played around with it a little bit when he first got it, and I liked it. Yeah. So I'm probably going to get that, and then they have their K's pack that's like meant to hold saddle hunting stuff, so I think I'm going to get that too.
That's what I'm getting next year.
So I can just throw everything in once and go. But it's going to be a bit of a change because, like, right now, I throw my, like, platform and sticks off my back. I pop my sticks off, throw my platform back in my bag, or back on my back, and then I put the first stick up, put the strap around it. Then I just have one more stick, and I carry my ratchets in my hip pack pockets on my side. So, like, it's one trip up the tree. I'm not going up and down. I got it down, like, almost to a science now. You know, I've been doing it for like 4 years. So
once you get up in that tree and you're sweating bullets, you're like, I got to figure something out.
Yeah.
Like because I can't do this every time.
Like the first time I did it, I hiked like all the way to like the top of this mountain, and I was like, I'm gonna try the saddle thing out.
Yeah.
And I got all the way up there, and I'm like, what am I doing? Like I don't even know what I'm doing, and I'm like, this tree isn't right, and you know, I don't know how to put this platform on. It's not going on right, but yeah, I won't ever hunt a different way than in a saddle.
It's definitely like, have you ever tried my saddle or Nick's saddle?
Nope.
Definitely got to try it. It's awesome. I want to get something with more adjustment because all I have is the Hawk, and it's like
garbage.
The baseline of a saddle. Like if you're gonna buy a saddle starting off and like you've never done it before, I would just buy that. Like the sticks, I don't know, my sticks.
Hey, maybe we'll give yours away to a follower on our YouTube.
Maybe. No,
I've never had problems with my sticks.
An autographed saddle.
Yeah, Hawk saddle. You'll never find one like that. You have the 3-step ones, right?
Yep.
I've got the 2-step ones, and if you're on the 2nd step, you're fine. If you are on the 1st step, you better be hauling ass to the 2nd one.
See, like I have 2 long ones, and then I have a mini, and I didn't like the mini. Like it felt weird on trees.
Yeah.
Where the longer ones aren't so bad as long as you can get them to like suck into the tree.
See, the short ones look like they would, like the teeth on them are so aggressive that you'd be like, holy shit, they're gonna go right into the tree and they're not moving. No, they literally like once you step off them, you can literally feel them fall your feet back up and like pop up.
Yeah, That's one thing I didn't like about the Hawk sticks was I didn't like the standoff. I think it's too narrow in my opinion. That's why I like the XOP. Beast sticks have really nice standoffs. They're like super wide and they have like a good bite to them. I think Trophy Line or Novix, their sticks are nice too. But I don't know. I like those XOP. I haven't tried them on a tree yet, but I don't have any doubts that they're gonna grip onto a tree pretty easy.
I don't know what sticks I would get if I were to get new ones for next year. I like how light the Hawk sticks are. That's what literally that's the only thing that keeps me with them is
but you can find sticks lighter than that.
Yeah,
everywhere.
but not for that price.
Not for that price.
Yeah,
they're cheap,
but you pay for
what you get.
Convenience.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I might use them. I might take that hang on that I have and move it. I was actually just talking to Mundo about this and move it and just leave those Hawk sticks right there and then just buy new sticks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Next year, I don't know if I'll hunt a lot out of a saddle at my parents' house unless I get a buck somewhere where I have to be
You're going to buy some hang-ons?
Yeah, I'm going to buy hang-ons and a couple of ladder stands.
It definitely makes it easier, especially in the morning.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about setting up.
With all the camera gear, it's just
it's a lot of extra work.
Yeah.
But next year, we'll probably be hunting together a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since it's just...
I do like... I like self-filming. I think plus it gives us 2 chances, you know what I mean, rather than 1. But it is fun to hunt together. Like when you're hunting with buddies, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot easier too.
Oh god, yeah.
It's nice to look back on shots.
Yeah.
Like that doe that I shot, that I actually got on film. Of course, like where I set up, I've hunted before, and I've seen deer pile out of the corner of this field. And sure enough, I could hear her coming, so I'm sitting there waiting. And instead of coming out and like feeding around, she like came out and just started walking right down the hedgerow. And I'm like, so I had to move the camera around. And by the time I got drawn and got her to stop, like her front shoulder, like pretty much like the whole front half of her body was behind a tree. So I'm like, so I shot. And I thought I smoked her. Like my first instinct was, oh, she's not going far.
Yeah.
How was I wrong? Yeah. So, like, pretty much, I shot her. She went and I hit her like almost like right here and like in between her shoulder and her neck, and it came out like perfect on her other shoulder. But I don't know if I only caught one long or what. But she just pretty much went straight up a hill.
Didn't you do that this year, Brad?
Couple of times.
Yeah, and like she bedded down once, and then there was another guy hunting that property too, and I don't know if when he came out, if he bumped her, because she just like went to like the straight top of Ishers from the field.
Really?
Like me and Sloan Emanuel, we tracked her, you know, where the green fields are, and you go up through the woods and there's that big brush lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we found her like just below that brush lot. And she like went up at an angle, and we were following pin drops after a while, and we actually jumped her, and she only went like 30 yards and just piled up and fell over dead. And I'm just like, how did that happen?
Does he let you take your side-by-side up there? Or is that just like...
Some guys do, I don't.
Yeah.
I'd rather park at the bottom and walk in. Honestly.
Oh, I meant to get the deer, so you didn't have to
I mean, I drove my truck to the top of the field. Yeah, and got... because we drug her down to the main logging road, and I was like, I'll just drive my truck up here and get her, because I don't feel like we've already drug her and chased her for like a mile. So
we had to drag your buck.
I'm not interested in it.
That thing, like, right now, his neck does not look as big as what it was when in the field.
He was fat, dude.
That thing was, like, it felt like I was dragging out, like, a bear.
Yeah. He's got a big neck for, October 5th.
Yeah, you should have saw him land on the ground.
Yeah,
He
was when I skinned him, he had fat all over him.
He was eating good.
Probably
a lot
2 inches of fat.
You're hunting a big farm, though, so they're probably just mowing down corn, soybeans.
That's exactly where I shot him. It was in between a cornfield and a hayfield.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool deer.
Yep.
Yeah, honestly, I shot $3 this year, and I didn't kill one out of a tree. I was on the ground for every single one of them.
Really? That's my next goal. I really want to kill a deer ground hunting. That'd be cool.
It's crazy. Like, my one 9-point I killed from the ground October 10th. That was a cool hunt. I was walking down through the woods, and I looked out in the field, and here he is walking up the field with 3 doe. So I just jumped behind this down tree, and they went up the field, and he cut in the woods, and I shot him like 35 yards from the ground. Like, I don't know. I'm not afraid to hunt from the ground. I actually like it.
I like ground hunting. That's how I killed my first buck with a bow, was off the ground in a blind. I almost killed a really, really nice buck this year with a gun. I should have shot him. I froze. Like, I literally could have blasted him in the neck, and he would have been good. But I would have definitely gotten that buck mounted. It was that big... he's a 6-point now. I broke one of them off. Big 6-point that I sent you, the really wide one.
Yep.
And that's the buck that I thought you shot. And I was like, oh, my God. No, I saw him 55 yards during bow season through the brush. Couldn't get a shot. And then I saw him, like, probably beginning of December. It was like the second rut. And now I'm, like, totally, like, believe in the second rut, because he was destroying stuff over there. And it just smelled like bucks so bad over there.
Yeah. I know from... Like, I'm sure you guys probably watch a lot of YouTube, and like, just like I watch like the Hunting Beast a lot, and like the Hunting Public, and just a bunch of different guys. And there's like a lot of times where they'll say something, and I'll be like, oh, that's what happened that one time I was out in the woods. Mm-hmm. And like, there's been a couple times where first week of January, at least around my house, I don't know, maybe she was still in estrus, I don't know.
Well, if a doe's not bred, the first time she goes into estrus, I think it's 29 days later, she'll go on estrus again. And then if she's not bred again, another 29 days later, she'll keep going into estrus.
Yeah.
For a certain amount of period of time. I was reading a study. They did a study. They found all the fawns in the spring, and based off their size and maturity level, they were able to determine when they were born, and they found that fawns were bred all the way up until March.
Yeah.
Like, bucks don't even have antlers. They're starting to drop.
Yeah.
I just found teal. Well, teal found a shed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like a little.
From this year?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
my boss just found one the other day.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So crazy. It seems like just yesterday. It's like we just had all our cameras out and whatnot.
I think that cold snap really... I know a lot of it's to do with testosterone and whatever, but I think that cold snap we had like last week, where it was like, negative 20s with the wind chill, Like, it had to have stressed him out, you know,
Oh, yeah.
enough to just drop. And I don't know. I have a match set off a buck. We had pictures of him, like, January 1st at, like, 6 in the morning. He came through, standing there, and he turned his head this way, had both sheds, came back January 1st, like 12 hours later, 6 o'clock at night, and stood there like this, and both sides were gone. I pulled the camera in April, went home, checked the chip. I went back up to where the camera was, and within 20 minutes, I found both sides.
No shit.
Like, It was crazy.
There's a place that I really want to shed hunt where I almost shot that buck during gun season, but it's like my dad was like, don't even go in there, like ever since I was a kid. Like, it's so thick in there, and there's so many deer. Like, we were just talking about this in our last podcast, is like, I've always hunted down by my grandpa's, like next to Vishers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now I hunt up next to my parents a lot. Like, I still hunt down there. That's where I shot my buck this year. But like, if you're hunting big deer, you better get in some thick stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like totally different. Like, it's crazy how you can go 300 yards and it'll be like just this nice open apple orchard, and then 300 yards it'll be like just thicker than thick. Like, you can barely walk through it, and the deer love it.
Yeah, that's one thing my personal property lacks, is it's not really thick. Like, we have ravines and have a couple hay fields that I haven't like really mowed. Like, I mowed strips around them.
You gotta do some hinge cuts.
Yeah, I have a one hinge cut I did 4 or 5 years ago. And that's starting to thicken up. I actually walked through there looking for a deer that I had shot and found a ton of scrapes and rubs. But yeah, I need to go and hinge cut like the other side of my property, because it's basically bedding area, food plots and pond and fields, and then another bedding area and ravines all throughout it. But yeah, that's, if you have like natural thick stuff, like down below your grandparents in Vishers, like down in there, it's so thick, and there's just like beat down trails everywhere.
You know,
like,
it's crazy because what's thick also during the early season and getting into the mid season is not thick now. Like, there's like no cover on any of the trees. You know, thick is different thick. Like, it's really thick.
Yeah.
You know, you look through the woods, you can see hundreds of yards through the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a spot I was hunting this year. There was standing corn, and there was like a bank that had a bunch of trees that had blown down. There was some where me and you were talking about before, where that standing corn was.
Yeah.
That there's that whole hillside right there. I was seeing a buck in there, so I was like, I'm gonna go up, and I pretty much just hunted right like on the ground, but on that bank. So I was up above kind of where the deer were, and there was a trail that went in, and there was rubs everywhere, and like now you can see right through it. Like, it's like I drive by it now. Like, the one night I almost had like a 6-point, like pretty much run me over. Like a car came down the road, and he came running in, and he was like from me to that wall, and he just looked up and was like, whoa. He took off. And I was like, man, I almost just got run over. Like,
Want to hear a crazy story? So
that happened
a few years ago, when I was working on the farm that we hunt on, I was riding down this dirt road with one of the farmers' kids. We were going to check one of the fields, and we're driving down the road, probably going, I don't know, as fast as a gator will go, 20 miles an hour maybe. A deer runs out of the woods, runs parallel with the gator as we're driving down the road, like right next to us. I could reach out and touch it. And it tries to jump through the center where we're sitting. Like, gets itself wadded up, like right on top of me. Like, I'm freaking out. Like, this is the craziest thing I have ever seen in my entire life. It falls down on the ground, and we like ran over. It must have ran over its leg. Like, it was ridiculous. I was like, this is not happening right now. And then it got up and took off into the woods.
Dude,
quick side story, but that was nuts.
Tough critters, man.
Yeah, they are.
They're stupid.
I'm sure you guys.
But they're also so smart and hard to kill.
Yeah, I wish like we had those deer. So, like we were saying last time, like some of the deer, and if you see a doe, all right, and it's got a fuzzy head or a spike, well, next year it'll be a little bit bigger, and it fucking walks up to you. Don't shoot it. All right, that's Jessica and Jimmy. They're awesome.
Oh, these are Brandon's deer.
Yeah, they will literally walk right up to you.
I don't hunt on that side, so you ain't got to worry about me. You got to worry about all the other.
Jessica never leaves. She was there all deer season, did not leave. I swear to God, she does not cross the property line. But Jimmy, this is one of the topics that we should probably jump into here is bucks home range and then rut hits and where and how far they go. Because so this buck he's there all summer, all up until probably he was there until the end of October when I shot my buck. He's in the same field. And then one day he just disappeared. And we didn't see him for probably a good month. The whole month in November, I never saw him. And then just a couple weeks ago, he showed back up.
Did you get him on cameras in November?
No, nothing. He was gone. He just disappeared. And then the bucks that I had been getting on camera, the big ones, once ended, gone. They're...
Yeah, I don't know. You listen to some of these big buck killers, and they tell you a buck's home range is this and that, and I don't know. I think it really depends on the deer, and
I agree. I think it depends on the deer.
I think from my personal experience, from what I've seen, there's been years where we've had a buck on camera since July all the way through November, runs over the neighbors, gets killed first week in November. This year, but most of the time I have bucks just coming out of the woodwork the third week of October. The third week of October, I found 10 scrapes on my property.
Yeah.
It was insane. All different bucks that I didn't have any pictures of. But there was a buck by my house. My mom saw him. My wife saw him. They saw him 3 or 4 times in the summer. I saw him once, I think, in September. And then late October, I was seeing him almost every day, in my neighbor's field. And the one night I saw him, he was chasing doe towards my house. I literally jumped out of my truck, grabbed my bow, ran down behind my house in my work clothes, and I was 100 yards from him chasing 7 doe. I watched him chase 7 doe around him, in the woods at 100 yards, and I'm just dude, just come over here. I want to show you something. But I don't know. I haven't seen him since, so I don't know. But I think, they say the bigger the deer, the smaller the home range is, and maybe it is, but the deer around here, they don't get old enough.
Yeah.
That's true.
You see a 130-inch deer, that's massive.
Well, you know what? Here's what I'm going to say about that. The deer, okay, so an old deer, right? Naturally, I feel like he's not going to have to go as far to breed a doe because he's going to be the dominant buck,
Yeah.
Generally, the older the deer, the more dominant the buck in the area. So he's going to be able to get whatever he wants, right? So even if deer don't get older than 3.5, 4.5 around here, they're still going to be the oldest deer.
Yeah, I think.
Area,
I think if you kill a 4.5-year-old deer, no matter what his antlers look like that's an accomplishment around here.
Yeah.
Without, even a 3, I've killed a couple bucks. I would say are probably 3.5, but a 4.5-year-old deer, that's a pretty big deal. It's not like he's going to be 150 inches most likely, but that's 120-inch deer most of the time around here, and that's like you said, that's a pretty stout deer for this area.
Yeah,
which is sad because there's a lot more potential than that around here.
Oh, there
is. I live in Pennsylvania, and I'll yell it from the rooftops. New York needs an antler restriction.
Yeah. This
idea that people, I need meat. I got to provide for my family. Some people do, don't get me wrong, but New York, they hand out doe tags like crazy. You can kill doe too. They have meat too.
Yeah.
I just know a lot of people, they just use that excuse to shoot a spike, and some people like to. I don't want to shame somebody. Because it's your personal preference. But I think if you want good deer, you're not going to get it shooting spikes and 4 points.
No.
You talk to anybody that's older, lives in PA, or remembers the antler restriction. My stepdad said, when he was a kid, if you saw a 4-point, you shot it. You were lucky to see a buck. And now it's there was a guy in State College that just shot a 200 and 17-inch buck last season.
NPA?
Yeah.
Holy crap, dude.
I held it with my own hands.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I got pictures to prove it, too.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Is that the record?
No, it was not the record. But, like, that's just...
217 inches?
Yeah, he's
same,
got a picture on his Instagram.
Its bases are like that. It was, like, insane. It was nuts, you know.
Should have took those things and ran.
Would have fallen out of a tree if he saw it.
Yeah,
Dude.
I get so pumped up when I see a deer. Like
he told me he almost passed out when he shot it.
Are you one of those people like you see a spike and you're just like shaking?
See, that's the thing. Like does don't pump because I don't shoot doe.
Well, gee, you're one of those guys.
I know. I agree.
Hey, we can have a whole debate about it. I don't care.
Oh, we can.
No spikes, 4 points. As soon as I see like. I don't care if that thing's a basket 8. I just get riled up. Like especially after I shoot it, like I've called him and then my girlfriend, and right after I got off the phone with my girlfriend, I literally sat in the tree and was like, "Whoa, I might need to get down like right now and walk straight to the truck because I think I'm about to pass out." Like I actually thought I was gonna pass out.
You see in the video where I shot this buck here. You could clearly tell after I shot him. Oh yeah, I was losing my mind. But beforehand, like, and in the moment, I'm like so like focused. I could be freaking out, but I don't notice it.
Yeah, you like black out almost.
Yeah. See, like, for me, it's I don't know. Like I don't want to tell somebody what to shoot, you know, but like. For me, like if I see a spike or a 4-point, like it doesn't even get me excited. I'm just like,
I agree.
Oh, cool, there's a deer. Like if I see a doe and I'm like, I think I'm gonna kill you. Then I get kind of jazzed up. Yeah. But like other than that, like, you know, if it's a buck, like it's like an 8-point, like I'm usually pretty jazzed up. But I think like this was like the first year that like I went out hunting and I would see a buck that I wanted to shoot and I'm like, all right, like this is what we're here to do, man. Like just calm down, like just focus.
You only got 1 or 2 chances.
Yeah. Like that's the other thing too. Like the older I get, the more I realize like you don't have that many chances to kill bucks. Like this year for me was crazy. Like I could have shot probably 5 different bucks. The one I shot at and I hit him low because I messed up. But I went out the first day of PA gun. My buck tag was already filled. I had a doe tag, and I saw 3 different bucks that morning. I had an 8-point come by that I could have shot like 10 times, and I'm like, dude, you're lucky my tag's filled because you'd be dead. I think he came off my neighbors, but
I had a year like that when I shot. See, I've only shot like 2, maybe I think only 2 3.5-year-old buck, and it's like the best feeling ever walking up to those things. But
because there's so much, like they're just so much bigger, like body wise, like that's kind of like what I'd go off of to like really determine that and like antler size. But
they say after like 4.5 years old, like the amount of antlers that like their growth goes like drops drastically. Like it gets like, you know what I mean? So from 1.5 years old to 2.5 years old, it's this huge.
Yeah, like
2.5 to 3.
I see like a slower.
I see what you mean.
Right,
yeah,
year to year.
Growth.
Yeah, they're not putting on like 30 inches.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I see what you mean now. Yeah.
But I was gonna say like a buck's not gonna stop. It's gonna start going downhill probably like year 7 or 8.
Oh no, I'm not saying downhill. I'm just saying it's gonna slow down like the growing process of it. Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, and I hate talking about like shooting little buck and stuff because social media has like, it's honestly I think hurting like the newer generation of hunters because it's like,
that's
you see these guys and they're holding 170-inch deer and it's like I gotta kill that. Like,
well, I've been seeing like a lot of stuff the last couple of years about it's almost like an excuse, like, oh, it's not my biggest, but well, yeah, you're not going to shoot your biggest buck every single year. Like, nobody expects you to. And, like, I've been seeing a lot of people kind of, like, speaking back towards that idea of people, like, I see so many posts of, like, it's not my biggest buck, or he's not the biggest. And it's like, if you got your heart beating and you wanted to shoot them, like, why do you care what everybody else thinks?
Right.
Like,
that's true.
Dude, I shot 3 bucks this year, and none of them were monsters. But every one of them had my heart, like, pumping.
Yeah.
That's all I really care about. I'm out there for me, not for anybody else. So,
Yep.
That's true. That's a good way to look at it.
like, I had some guy from Canada, like, running his mouth talking shit to me about that buck I shot in New York opening day of gun season. He's like, he commented on, like, the one video I took of him. He's like, have you ever thought about letting him get bigger? And I was like, no, not really. like, dude, this is New York. Like,
that's another thing is like when I was a kid, it was like my dad would always tell me, well, if you don't shoot it, the neighbor's going to shoot it. And that's 100% true.
Oh, yeah. Like, there's a lot of guys say, oh, if you shoot it, you're that neighbor. And, like,
it's a bad mindset, though.
It is. I understand both sides of that argument. But, like, the one buck I shot this year that I hit low and I never found, I found him the next morning. I jumped him. He took off. I saw him like 3 weeks later in my neighbor's field. He was kind of limp. I hit him like right in the front leg right here, and he was limping, chasing a doe. First day of gun season, my neighbor's son shot him.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Like, I went over and saw him, and because he sent me a picture, I'm like, yep. I'm like, was he limping? He goes, yeah. And I was like, okay, you know.
Huh?
Yep, same thing happened to me. I saw a nice little 8-point, watched him for 2 weeks, 3 weeks during rifle season. I'm like, sweet, he's still alive. He's going to make it. He'll be a nice buck in a couple years. Week later, literally the last week of gun season, somebody killed him. Back into gear a little bit, Brandon. What are you gonna change about next year? Your setup?
Well, if everything goes as planned, I plan to get a Latitude saddle, and I don't know if I'm gonna change my sticks yet or not. Definitely new arrows. I just switched to. I think when I saw you with my bow, I was shooting a what are those?
Talking about broadheads or
Magnus?
Yeah, the Magnus Stingers. Now I shoot the Schwacker. Is it Schwack? Yeah, Schwacker Fatheads. And they look just like Magnus Stingers, just an old style, almost looking broadhead. Other than that, I don't think anything. I like my camera arm. Stick to saddle hunting.
I thought you said you didn't like your camera arm.
No, I do.
You do?
Yeah, I like my camera arm. The only thing I don't like about it is the ratchet itself.
I might change my camera arm. I don't know. Right now I got a Lone Wolf custom gear camera arm, and I like it. I just don't think the arm's long enough.
Is that the one that cams over?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen those. They look nice.
Yeah. I like it. You want to buy it?
No. I just bought a new camera arm.
What did you get?
The Fourth Arrow.
Oh.
The cheapest one.
Yeah. Fourth Arrow's nice, expensive though.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing I like about the Lone Wolf one is it's small and you can just shove it anywhere, really. You can put it in your pocket and carry it out there, which is nice. But it's just a little unsteady. You know, my camera with that lens is just a little too heavy.
Yeah. They're like, I think, they're like 6 pounds or something, our cameras.
Oh, I don't know exactly.
Yeah, I know I have a Canon. Mine's like...
With that big lens on there, I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, it's right around 6 pounds, I think, with the lens I have on it. But,
Shannon's got a T7 Rebel, okay? It's got a magnification of 350. It's got a lens in there of 350. Ours are 200.
Wait, she bought a camera?
No, they got it for free for something. I don't know. I'm about to steal that thing.
Will it fit on your camera?
I don't know. Actually, that's a good thing. Can you? I don't know if you can do that.
Are you talking cross compatibility?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No, I might just steal the whole camera
You're
and use it for turkey season, dude. That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
No, but that was just a little side comment. So I don't know what are you gonna change anything?
I'm gonna definitely go into a saddle next year. I'm sick of. I mean, in the early season, I don't mind packing out all the gear. You know, like I keep myself in good shape, so hiking far is not the end of the world to me. But once it gets into rifle season and later in the season, that's when, you know, you've got 30 sits under your belt and you're like, man, this sucks. I want something a little bit lighter, you know, make it a little bit easier on your mind. So, yeah, I think I'm going to go with the cruiser saddle. unless, you know, I mean, there's a lot of time between now and next year where new stuff's going to come out. I'm wanting to get the tethered 1 sticks, but like I said, something new might come out.
I think I just had a recall on those.
Yeah, they
Really?
did. The Gen 1s. I think the Gen 2s are good.
Yeah, they're super light. They're like a pound a piece, I think.
Half a pound, I think.
Are they?
Holy
yeah.
shit.
So
Yeah,
for
they're
3
super
sticks
light.
at 1
I like the
pound.
beast sticks. I do like the beast
Yeah.
sticks, but the thing is like,
They're a little pricey.
yeah, I was gonna say like the price on those things is like, oh my god, I might as well just buy like fucking 10 ladder stands.
Yeah, no.
Literally.
You guys watch The Hunting Beast?
I've
Never
oh,
even heard
really?
of him.
He hunts with the hunting public, right?
Yeah.
Once in a while.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, yeah.
Older
No,
guy.
I've seen them,
Yeah.
yeah.
Dan Infalt is like, he's a wild man.
Is that the-
I love watching that dude hunt. He is like just so like off the cuff, and go watch his. You guys ever watch the Whitetail Cribs from
Yeah.
Exodus?
Oh,
Yeah.
I saw.
yeah,
his.
go watch his. It's insane. Like,
Have you ever seen Cutting the Distance?
yeah,
Crib.
yeah,
Pretty good.
Yeah.
yeah.
We got one on the wall right there.
Yep.
Shit ton of European mounts too.
Yeah.
If I didn't get evicted, we could take you there.
Yeah, Brand doesn't pay his bills. He got kicked out of
No,
his
that's
apartment.
not why.
Oh boy.
Just
not-
kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah, sorry guys.
Oh, God. So,
What about you, Mike? Are you changing anything next year?
Just my saddle setup.
Are you gonna keep the same saddle or get a different one?
No, I'm gonna keep the same saddle. I like my saddle. Yeah, pretty much. I got new sticks. Probably get a new platform.
Oh, I'm gonna get a new platform, 100%.
yeah,
actually.
I'm going to do the trophy
new
line
bag.
mission.
Mm.
It's a little bit bigger than the
Yeah.
EDP.
I don't know. I played it like I don't. My platforms that I have now isn't very big.
What do you have?
The out on a limb podium.
Okay.
It's basically just like aluminum tubing with expanded metal over it.
Yeah,
And,
that's what
like,
you were saying in the
It's
beginning.
super comfortable. So I don't know. I'd like the EDP. I was using. My buddy has it. And I tried it out a little bit. I'm gonna borrow it from him here. You know, probably when it gets a little bit nicer and play around with it again to see if I want to buy that one.
See, the thing about the saddle that it was deterring me the whole time is shooting sitting down. Not necessarily sitting down, but like hanging out, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the trophy line mission, it's such a big platform. I could stand on it like a hang on and
Yeah.
shoot from it.
Yeah.
I thought about
And then have the comfort of a saddle.
I thought about taking the bottom of Nick's Climber and using that as a platform. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's light. I mean, that thing's light.
be big.
Yeah, that's who cares?
Do you guys like sitting or shooting down while you're sitting?
No.
Say
I
I'd-
like standing.
Yeah, I don't know. When I'm in a ladder stand, I won't stand up to shoot unless I like absolutely have to. But
Yeah,
I mean, during rifle season, I'll sit and shoot.
oh yeah, yeah, even like with a bow during if I'm in my like I have ladder stands on like on my personal property that I just have set up. But if I hunt out of those, most time I have them set up so I can just sit down and shoot. But I don't know. I practice standing up shooting, so shooting out of a saddle is not
That's
much
one-
different.
one thing I'm gonna do that is bigger than changing any gear is shoot my bow every day this summer. Literally, I don't care if it's 5 arrows. I'm just gonna go out and shoot.
See, he runs a single pin.
Yeah,
I don't like that. Do you have a single pin? Yeah.
yeah. It's cost me a couple deer. It cost me.
Let me guess why it cost you dear. Because they came in quick and you didn't
Yeah.
have time to adjust your pin.
Well, if I wasn't running like 580 grain arrows, it probably wouldn't have mattered.
Right.
But I am, you know, for right now. I think next
What do you
year.
draw back? What do you
70.
pull? 70 pounds. So what is it?
Yeah.
Probably like from 35 yards and out, it really starts dropping.
Yeah, like the buck I hit low this year. I mean, I watched him come in from like 200 yards, and I'm like, this is perfect. He's gonna come right in and hit this trail to my left, and I'm just gonna drill him. And then he decided he wanted to go to the right, so I had to stand up and spin around, and I didn't have anything ranged really on that side. And by the time I got him to stop, he went from like 35 to like 42, and Like I have it all on film. You can see the arrow just go right underneath him and hit his leg. But I think I found a way around that. My boss, he's a big bow hunter too. He was telling me about these arrows. I think Gold Tip makes them. There's a couple different companies that make stiffer spined arrows that are like anywhere from 7 to like 8.5 grains per inch, where mine are like 9.3. So
what are you shooting right now?
Gold Tip Hunter XTs with a grizzly stick, samurai, single bevel.
Nice.
I don't think I'll ever change from a single bevel.
No.
Like my PA buck, I hit him like right here.
Blew right through it?
30 yards, and it came out in front of his hindquarter, and he ran 60 yards and piled up.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I shot, and he ran off, and I'm like...
It's like shooting a deer with a bullet.
I'm like, man, I'm pretty sure I hit him. And then I'm watching him run, and I'm like, maybe I didn't. And then he got about 60 yards, and he just started, like, walking sideways. I was like, oh, no, I hit him. Yeah, I definitely hit him. I was like, yeah, I definitely hit him, but no.
Oh, yeah.
I'll never change them heavy arrows either. Yeah. Like, that's a fad I'm not going to be changing from.
No.
There's
Huge
so many.
difference.
Yeah, there's many times I've shot deer. Like, I shot a deer with a mechanical this year with a heavy arrow, and it at 25 yards heart shot, and it didn't blow all the way through. So I don't know.
That's because it's a mechanical.
I don't know. I've
What kind of broadhead was it?
NAP Kill Zone.
Okay.
Those are probably my favorite mechanicals. That
I used to shoot Rage. I'll never do that again.
Yeah, I never really got into Rage. I don't.
Garbage.
Yeah.
See, people are like, when
they work, they work.
Yeah, I was gonna say
when they work, they work. They're like,
when they don't,
they don't.
And
it's either like the commercial or you're never finding your deer.
Yeah, I don't know. I know guys that have killed lots of deer with Rage and guys that have lost a lot of deer with Rage. So I think a lot of the bad rap they get is they're so popular that so many people shoot them, and maybe just some people just take some unethical shots with them that they shouldn't, and shooting a lighter arrow that's doesn't have the push through like a heavier arrow does.
Definitely heavy arrow setup and just straight fixed blades. Like I used to use these Muzzy 3 blades, and they were even better. It's like,
VAP makes nice broadheads too. I was thinking about trying out their 3 blade. They have a bunch of single bevels, but they don't have any that are.
There's one
25
mechanical broadhead that I want to try, but I'm not gonna do it. It's the G5 Mega Meat. Because it's like a fixed blade that expands, So you still have the guaranteed
Isn't
cut.
that what Chris B uses?
No,
he does use.
There's a lot of guys, like a lot of
T-Bone from
professionals use them. My buddy got him one year, and he's like, "Dude, these things they're awesome, man." And then he's like telling me he's like, "I shot a doe, and I hit her a little high, and dude, you could just see a chunk of meat flapping as she was running." And I was like, "Oh, how far'd she go?" "Oh, I didn't find her." I'm like,
"Oh, yeah, they work great."
Yeah, and I'm like, "It doesn't sound like they work that good then, man."
Yeah.
So no, they work great. I'm like, okay.
Dude, those things are so tough. They're crazy animals.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a big controversy around heavy arrows.
Yeah, there is.
I made a TikTok video just like messing around one day, and I was like, I forget what I said. I was like, man, all these guys hating on heavy arrows probably never even shot an arrow over 500 grains. And I think I had like 800 comments of people being like, I shoot 140 or 450 grain arrow, and I blow through every deer I shoot. I'm like, dude, good for you, man.
Yeah,
like, not me.
When I went to the bow shop this year, I asked him because I wanted to build 500 over 500.
Was it the one down here?
No, it wasn't Neil's. We're not naming names.
Oh.
Yeah, I was just in there the other day shooting the new bows, and I asked the one guy, I'm like, so what do you think of the Ranch Fairy? That guy's an idiot.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, is he? And he's like, not what he says works. And I'm like, really? And I shot my bow through the chrono. It was like 245, and he's like, man, your bow's slow. And I'm like, well, I'm shooting like 600 grains. And he's like, there's no way that works. I'm like, oh, it's worked for me all year.
Exactly. That's the thing. I wanted to build a 550 grain arrow. I'm like, what are you hunting, moose?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm hunting deer.
Dude, you know how many deer I've shot with a bow that like, that I didn't even get a pass through, and I'm just like, how did dude, I shot you 20 yards. I should be blowing through you. This is a brand new compound. That was my biggest thing. There were so many deer I shot where I didn't get pass throughs, and I'm like, dude, you're 25 yards. I should be blowing through you. And then the Ranch Fairy came into my life.
Yeah.
And everything changed. Yeah. Everything started making a lot more sense.
Once I started to see the hunting public go to more heavier arrow setups, I was like, this is the way. My arrow is not heavy as heavy as your guys' is. It's 480 grains. I like it.
It doesn't have to be heavy. You just have to have the FOC is the more important part. I mean, mine are 18%. I mean, I'm just it's like hitting them with a hammer. It's insane.
Yeah.
I love it. But yeah, I mean, you look at the older, I know, when my dad hunted, he had Easton aluminum arrows. And he was blowing through deer back then. That bow's shooting 100 feet per second. Yeah. It's
Well, I think that's a good place to call it a podcast for the week. We appreciate Mike.
Oh, no problem.
Appreciate you coming on. It was nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too.
And for our subscribers and hopefully future subscribers, go check out Owl Howl Game Calls. We'll put the link to his website in the description. So
thank you.
Go purchase some game calls for the upcoming turkey season.
We'll hopefully have some more videos coming out.
Yeah. There you go.
We appreciate you guys tuning in for another week of the Ctd Podcast. We don't have any plans for next week as of now.
No, nothing yet. It might just be probably us. I mean, and then I want to try to do something of maybe once we reach 200 subs on YouTube, I want to give away with 5 shirts or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, we got some. Brandon got some shirts made up.
Yep.
For our channel. It's pretty basic, but you can rep us if you'd like. Yeah. So maybe we'll give away some of them 200 subscribers.
Yeah.
And along with your autographed Hawk saddle.
No, that's not leaving. I'm hanging that thing in my trophy room.
Yeah. Oh God! Somebody would end up dying in it. It's garbage.
Here, let me try this out.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll catch you next week.